Good afternoon and welcome to the drive on Destinta Drive. My name is Dion and today is White Shirt Wednesday. White shirt. Had I looked at the shirt a little better, I would have noticed that there's actually a hole in the shirt. I think it's right here. Yeah. And I was like, I look like a weirdo. More so than normal. Anyway, I've been putting off Movie Monday till today. And let's talk about the movies I watched last week. There's three that come to mind that, and you know, sometimes I just can't think of what I watched, and that's kind of just a weird Dion quirk. So, Friday night, I actually had Marvel Superhero Night, and I decided to check out the new Spider-Man, which is called The Amazing Spider-Man, and I really, really dug it. I really was not having a lot of hopes for it. I just kind of figured, okay, we're going to tell the whole Spider-Man story again, and they did a good job with it, and they also set the movie up to have future movies, which I think is awesome. The thing that Marvel does with their movies is a little ways into the credit, they'll give you a little sneak peek of something else. So if you take the opportunity to get that movie and watch it, don't just skip the credits when the movie's over. Take a moment to let the credits roll for a little bit, and there's a little tidbit there saying, hey, there's something else here, and it has to do with Peter Parker's father. And so, spoiler after the fact. Anyway, so I really, really dug the new Spider-Man movie. The other movie that I watched, it's been out for a little while. It's the new Avengers movie, directed by Joss Whedon of Buffy the Vampire and Firefly and Vampire Slayer, if you're gonna say it right? So yeah, he even worked on a draft of Toy Story. Good guy. So he also went to Wesleyan University, which is where my wife went to school. Shout out for Wesleyan. And anyway, so it was a really good collaborative movie. I liked that they gave a little backstory to some of the lesser-known characters like Black Widow and what's the other guy's name? Is it Bullseye? Yeah, Bullseye. Bullseye? I think it's Bullseye. I think that's the name of the guy. Anyway, and then they did a really good job, I think, with the Hulk. That's probably the hardest character, I think, for anybody to act or perform, because he's not there. He's a CGI character, and they did a great job with him. He really does look like Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo? I think that's his name. So I was really impressed with it. They did a great job with it, and it had a good, solid story. I liked that it was a continuation of the Thor story. It was a continuation of the Captain America story from the movies that have come out recently. So also, it really blended very nicely with the Iron Man story and the forthcoming Iron Man new movie, Iron Man 3. I'll put a link for that movie down into the Glovebox for you. So, I was really impressed. Two Marvel movies that were very, very good. The other thing that was nice is that when these movies came out, Disney had acquired Marvel at that time, but Spider-Man was actually put out, I think, by Paramount, and it was just awesome. And it's always nice to see Stan Lee's cameo in those movies. Once again, on the Avengers, there's a little sneak little tidbit in the credits. Less obvious, very much more the fanboy tidbit. I'm not familiar with the character that they show in that scene. So, there you go. The other movie that I watched this past week, I watched for the first time since I saw it in the theater, I watched Avatar. And I liked Avatar, but I had some problems with Avatar, and I was reminded of those problems when I was watching the film, and that it's kind of like a version of Braveheart. It's also a kind of version of Pocahontas, you know, the whole environment thing, Pocahontas, and these are our lands, and that's the whole Braveheart thing, and you got these big blue guys, which kind of reminds you of Smurfs, but not really. And the thing about watching it in the movie theater and I did see it in 3D with my kid, was that it seemed really long for him. Not very. I mean, it was it kept pace. So I really liked the movie as far as that was concerned. I like the fact that there's this totally immersive world, and in the 3D presentation, you are immersed into that world, and you really can't see the seams, and that's very important when you're going to have something like the planet of Pandora, is that you can't see the seams. But when I watched it on home video and I watched it on just a regular flat screen, no 3D involved, I was very aware of those seams. I could see where different animators or artists worked on different things, and you could see where maybe the background did not look as natural with the characters, or the characters didn't have the same graininess as the background. So, but that might be just a failure of watching it flat on a television screen. I'll also say that watching it in 3D, you are putting a filter in front of your eyes while you're watching the movie, and that filter definitely could potentially erase those seams that I'm talking about. So those were the 3 movies that I can think of off the top of my head that I watched, and I really enjoyed them. It was nice to, going back to the Avengers, it was nice to see Kobe Smulders from How I Met Your Mother doing something different than what she normally does. I hope I said her last name correctly. I know it's Kobe. I think it's Smothers. Anyway, it was nice to see her doing something different than her comedy bit that she does on How I Met Your Mother, the cigar-smoking, gun-wielding Canadian newscaster. Anyway, so there you go. That's today's Daily Drive. Thanks for joining me. I hope that you had a great day. I had actually a very, very good day. I got lots of the work that I like to do done. And not that there's a big chunk of what I do that I don't like, but I was able to do the parts that I do like. And that's actually creating replacement titles and creating replacement plates for people who've destroyed their plates on their cars. Their license plates, to be specific. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. It was funny, a friend commented on the John Denver thing, and I'll talk more about that later this week. And it was nice to reconnect with that person. And so I'll give a shout out to Rock and Ron Soka, or I think it's Soka. I'm probably wrong. Every time I read it, I want to say Sosha, but it's Soka. I'm pretty confident it is. You go all the way to another country with a person, you can't remember their name. Yeah, that's me. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for watching The Drive. Don't forget the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and most especially, subscribe, comment, and share what I've done here on YouTube. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow.